Houstonians have many reasons to love their city, the diversity, our Tier 1 university, the vibrant art scene. But whether you call it Space City, H-Town, or the Bayou City, it's home to us. Let's explore it together. This is Video Workshop.
Movies are, a film script is in a constant stage of revision.
Hello, I'm Dominique Saxa.
Hello and welcome to Video Workshop. I'm your host, Belinda Pulido. Are you a fan of different cultures and customs? Don't miss out when Jenna Gonzalez visits the Houston Turkish Festival. Next, Andrea Mendoza will introduce you to the world of beauty and glamour with makeup artist Jennifer Boggs. Harris County Deputy and Bomb Specialist Patrick Mason talks with Jade Ming about his fascinating and dangerous work. Next, we profile UH student athlete De'Eric King as he goes from high school's Friday Night Lights to Saturday afternoon in the big stadium, Latasha Jones reports. But before all of that, let's begin with Jovan Rosales and Houston's public media coordinator, Roger Palomina. Jovan?
Hi, this is Jovan Rosales with Video Workshop, and our guest on the show today is a man with many talents. He has his hands dipped in production at Houston Media Source, and he's also the station's outreach coordinator. And when he isn't at HMS, he likes to get involved in some acting. So let's give our guest, Roger Palomino, a warm welcome. Roger, thank you for being on the show today. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Enjoying the weather today. It's nice.
Yes, it is for a change. Now we can use our fall clothes.
Yeah, I know. So let me ask you, for our guests tuning in, can you explain to us what you do as an outreach coordinator for Houston Media Source, also known as HMS?
Absolutely. As outreach coordinator, what I do is I network and promote Houston Media Source to the community. We're located at the East End side of downtown Houston, and so what I do is through our free orientations every Monday at 6, I tell anybody in the community about Houston Media Source and what they could do in public access TV, because a lot of people think that perhaps maybe they don't have experience in TV, so maybe they might not be able to get started because maybe they don't have the training. So
yeah. And you also do a little bit of production, right?
Yeah, I do a little bit of production as well.
Yeah, so can you elaborate on that, or what do you do exactly with production?
Sure, absolutely. So in Houston Media Source, before I became outreach coordinator, I also did production as well. So what I do is I go out to film festivals because my background is in acting.
Oh, okay.
And so I help cover them. And so I interview a lot of the directors and producers that, whether they're local or they come in from other parts of the world. And so I'm able to edit that and submit it so it can broadcast on our channel.
Oh, okay. And why did you choose a career in media? Did you start in media, or is it something that you just kind of, decided to do along the way?
Actually, I've always had an interest in it, but my background is actually in business. I went to Sam Houston State. Of course, I have a great communications department, but I majored in business. So when I graduated, and before I graduated, actually my senior year, I got into community theater. And so my interest was in that. And then I came back to Houston, started working, and then I decided I wanted to go to broadcasting school at that time that existed in Houston, and that's what piqued my interest.
So you went from business to theater to media.
Right, yeah.
That's a weird transition from business to media.
Yeah.
Usually it's like a lot of students who go into law end up going into media, or vice versa, but not business to media. Are you doing anything with business?
Yeah, actually I am. As outreach coordinator, I do implement a lot of business principles into what I do in this position, so it really helps. And it also helps with being comfortable networking with other people, which is what acting did for me. So I'm really grateful for all those experiences.
That's great. And you mentioned acting, and I understand that you were cast as an extra for the Green Lantern movie.
Yeah.
So can you explain to us what it was like for you to be on a movie set?
It was great because actually I got to experience being on a big set. It was directed by Martin Campbell. He also directed one of the James Bond films. And so they shot the scenes that I was an extra in New Orleans, but to the audience, you think it's some high-rise party in Los Angeles, but in reality it was in New Orleans. So it was great because actually I got to see a lot of the actors there, like Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, how all that works. Tim Robbins, their stand-ins, what that process is like. You know, it's very, it's like a cattle call, but at the same time, it's also rewarding because you get to see all these creative geniuses and energies come together.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's just like, it's a different world, right?
It is.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's, you get caught up and it's just you like it, you love it, you know, kind of like just being in media, period.
Very fast-paced, but I love it.
So you have many professions. If you had to choose one, which would it be and why?
Wow, yeah, I enjoy all of them, but I guess if I had to narrow it down, what initially helped me, especially with the position I have now as outreach coordinator, is acting. Acting is my #1 passion because it comes naturally. Nothing I really trained for specifically as a young child, but I've always had an interest in television and film. Enjoy television and film, and I guess that's why I'm here.
Yeah, it's just kind of something you have, you know, like a lot of people, you're just born with it, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it just comes from within, and it's very organic and natural. So yeah, I can't see myself doing anything else.
Okay, well, that's all the time we have today. And on behalf of the Video Workshop team and myself, we wish you the best of luck. And Roger, once again, thank you for being here with us today. This is Jovan Rosales with Video Workshop. Thank you guys for watching.
Never experienced authentic Turkish food? Then here's your chance at the 2016 Turkish Festival at Jones Plaza. With live music, dance, food, and lots more, come and experience all things Turkish. Here with us today is ATL President Islam. Hi.
Hi.
So tell us about the festival and all that.
Okay, so this is the 25th annual Houston Turkish Festival. It is organized by the American Turkish Association of Houston. It is once a year, only for 2 days. So because we cannot bring all the people in Houston to Turkey, we decided to bring a slice of Turkey to them. So this is our effort to do just that.
And for those who've never been to a Turkish festival, what would you want them to get out of this, like coming here?
Oh, there is just so much here. So first of all, the entrance is only $6, but for $6 you get top-notch performers. All of our performers are traveling from Turkey, so they are not locals, they are not volunteers, they are professionals. We have a fashion show that showcases almost 50 local outfits from Turkey. We have opera under the stars by professional musicians, opera stars. We have live music, we have folklore shows by this famous dance troupe that came from Turkey. And then of course we have food.
Kids get to join in on the fun in Kids Corner, making colorful sand art, creating their own jewelry, and having their very own section to dance and listen to music.
We're here at the Badbasa coffee stand with Mustafa, who's going to tell us more about this authentic Turkish coffee. So Mustafa, tell us all about this coffee.
Hello, first of all, welcome to Turkish Fest and sponsored by Ata Houston. And we are preparing Turkish coffee and Turkish tea, which is black tea. It's not any other tea. And we prepare on the sand. And on the sand, the reason why we are preparing on the sand, it's the cooking. This is the brewing method, one of the oldest coffee brewing method. And the reason we are preparing on the sand, it's cooking really slow and it tastes better after that. And you can feel the really strong coffee.
With over 20 booths and stands, be sure to stop by and look around the Grand Bazaar. Take home a piece of the Turkish Festival with one of their handcrafts or souvenirs.
My name is Murat Jasim. I'm doing hand paint on ceramic, clay. They call Çini, İznik in Turkish. So I'm doing this about 21 years. I was starting to do this when I was 10 years old. So right now I also teach at school in Houston. To make something like that took me to 13, 14 hours. So first I draw the design with pencil and then follow the line with black paint and then paint with horse hair brush. And then I put glaze on it to make a shiny and then put in the kiln and then stay in the kiln like 29 hours. So the degree is 1,800 degrees.
If you've worked up an appetite, then grab a bite to eat at one of the booths and try some authentic Turkish food. Restaurants from all over Houston have come to share the best of Turkish cuisine.
My name is Saeed and we have a shawarma grill and cafe restaurant in Dairy Ashford by Briar Forest. We serve shawarma, we serve all kinds of sandwiches. And we also have Lebanese cuisine, Turkish cuisine. We are serving beef shawarma, gyro, and we also serve chicken shawarma. Well, the chicken rotate, the meat rotate, and the chicken and the beef all rotates. It takes hours and hours. It takes about 3-4 hours for the skewer to be done.
The Houston Turkish Festival has so much to offer with food, music, and dance. Be sure to stop by and see the folk dance, or even join yourself during the Turkish Festival Disco Hour. With Video Workshop, I'm Jenna Gonzalez.
Hello, my name is Andrea Mendoza. Here with Video Workshop today, we have one of Houston's local makeup artists, Jennifer Boggs, here to teach us how to do a fashion style makeup routine. And so when she's not communicating with healthcare professionals as a medical sales rep, she's aspiring to help others achieve their looks. So today she'll be teaching us how to apply a routine out for a night at the gala or for that new upscale restaurant that everyone's talking about in town. Thank you for joining us, Jennifer.
Thank you so much for having me. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So what I'm gonna do here, we actually already have her makeup already set for her foundation and her concealer and her powder, but we're also gonna go ahead and start on those eyes to make that a little bit more dramatic from kind of day to night. Okay. So I'm gonna add a little concealer, just that way the eyeshadow is gonna stick when we apply it.
Okay.
Add it over the entire lid.
And if I may ask you, Jennifer, what are kind of like your favorite brands of makeup to use?
Oh my gosh, so I have a million.
Okay.
But for concealers, I love NYX. They have a really great photogenic one, concealer that's called HD. It's fantastic, but I usually use Estee Lauder for all facial makeup.
Okay.
And then eyeshadows, I give almost every eyeshadow a try. With a good base, you can get almost any eyeshadow to stick.
Okay. And what are we doing here? Was that like a primer?
Yeah, so it's just the concealer just to make it a little extra sticky for when we're gonna put the color on.
Okay.
If I don't do it, it doesn't hold. So it's always great just to add that ahead of time.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the darkest color on the outside to add that dramatic effect.
So do you incorporate a similar style when doing a more like natural look?
You know what, for me, yes, but I like to do kind of that deeper natural look. But if I wanna do more up the line of natural, I'll do kind of browns and more neutral tones.
Okay.
But I always like to add a little color. It's kind of fun, especially on a night out, to kind of do something a little out of your norm.
Okay.
Try some colors maybe you don't normally do.
Okay.
Especially just to transition from that day to night. It just adds a little pop.
Yeah. Is there any like social platforms you use to share your talents with?
You know what I do? I actually use Instagram typically for most of my clients. I'll post a lot of pictures there, some tidbits, some tips. Kind of just fun looks that I'll put together on my own even as well.
Okay. And so what are we doing now?
So now I'm adding the lighter color on the inside so it adds that light to dark contrast.
Okay.
Adds
You
a
said
little
this
more
is
dramatic.
more of a night look?
Yeah, so we're gonna just darken it just to make it a little bit more nighttime ready.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, that looks so pretty. All right,
And
it
luckily
seems
it's
so simple too.
You know what, and that's the beauty about this look. The transitioning look is so easy because all you need is about 3 or 4 colors.
Okay.
Light to dark, you can make almost any color blend. It depends on how risky you like to get with colors. But it's fun because then that way you can just darken up your look. You don't have to go home and get 100% re-ready.
Okay.
You can just kind of touch things back up.
All right. And when would you say is like your busiest time of the year for clientele?
You know what, it tends to be around the fall. That tends to be when people want to start trying those deeper colors again.
Right.
They got out of the summer season and then they start wanting
the
to get
maroons, the
yes,
browns,
absolutely,
naturals.
absolutely. Everyone wants to start experimenting then, and your skin tone tends to fluctuate throughout the year as well. So that's when people want to try those deeper, darker colors. Their style is changing at that time. They're not wearing all those light colors, so you want to go kind of with a bold look, especially with some of the dark colors that you may be wearing.
Okay. And so, do you offer your services to those looking for an artist for their event? And if so, like, what's your specialty?
Absolutely. So I love to do different events. My specialty is usually photogenic. So I like to use a lot of colors that are really meant for HD, for filming. Anything that, like, contouring is something I love doing. So anything that if someone's getting a lot of photos of them, bridal, photo shoots and stuff like that, that's typically up my alley as well. But I do it all. I like to do classes. Sometimes I've had some clients where, I'm going over with their children how to do makeup, age appropriate or more fun, bridal, prom. The list kind of goes on and on.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you're busy quite often throughout the year?
Yeah, you know what? I can be. Since I do makeup part-time, I try to make the schedule work as much as possible.
Okay.
But since for me, it's more of a hobby, I get excited. So if someone wants to do something fun,
Right.
especially a lesson or whatever it may be, I'll make the time if I can.
Okay, so now that we can finish up a little, just we have a few minutes left.
Sure.
May I ask you, how would your followers contact you if they wanted, say, a tutorial?
So the best way for them to do that is to contact me through Instagram. I post a lot of looks, so if it's something that they're interested, I can always send them the video. I tend to record things, I just don't tend to always post them.
Okay.
So if there's a look that they're interested in, I usually can send them the clips from behind the scenes.
Okay.
Or more excitingly, I'm always happy to teach them.
Okay.
So I can either make them a video or I can do some kind of a lesson.
Okay.
And we go
Do
over it
something
together.
personally.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, looks like the look is finishing up. Super simple, super fast, and it's just a great look for a night out.
Up together.
Oh, so pretty. All right. Well, now that it looks like we're almost just about done, you can definitely reach Jen at her Instagram page at _JBoggs to catch the latest trends. And see you next time on Video Workshop. I'm Andrea Mendoza.
Most athletes start to perfect their craft at an early age. Some learn that the transition from high school to college is easier said than done. One athlete here at the University of Houston breaks it down for us and talks about the different obstacles he's had to overcome entering college football.
Comes to De'Aaron King right at the goal line, and King moving from left to right. King now busts it at the outside at the 15, at the 20, 25-yard line, he's gone. 40, 50, at the 40-yard line, De'Aaron King is going to take it back 95 yards.
I was able to take a trip to Manville, Texas, where I had a chance to speak with De'Aaron's high school coach, Kirk Martin, who gave us some insight on De'Aaron's characteristics as a player in high school. What was it like coaching De'Aaron King?
De'Aaron's a special kid. I mean, he is just awesome. I mean, everything you want in a leader and a quarterback and a football player, he's that. You know, he was the hardest worker we had in the weight room, which is strange for a quarterback. I mean, he outlifted our linebackers. You know, he won every sprint that we ever had in conditioning. He was a great student. You know, I had a principal call me one time and tell me, you know, great things about De'Aaron. He said, hey, today after lunch, De'Aaron stayed and was picking up trash, you know, for the kids have left behind, and, you know, just on his own. You know, he's just that kind of kid. He's a true leader, and the kind of kid that everybody, you know, hungers for. I mean, just special.
I was also able to sit down with the Kings, De'Aaron's mother and father, who enlightened us on De'Aaron as a person on and off the field. How long has De'Aaron been playing football?
Since he was 4 years old. I started playing flag football at 4.
Were you ever his coach at that time?
Always his coach until he went to Manville High School.
So did he run around here with the football all the time and, you know, run around diapers with football in his hand?
Yes, he actually slept with his helmet on in football almost every day.
Yes, and they constantly threw the football all day long. He threw the football back and forth to his dad all day. Whenever he was, you know, wasn't at school or anywhere, he was always throwing the football.
Yeah.
So were you like a big idol to him growing up?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I was a big idol to him. So he followed in his parents' footsteps. He was a great basketball player, and I was great in everything. So.
How do you balance being a full-time student and a full-time athlete?
I try to work hard in both. Football, school obviously comes first, and I just fit football into my day every day and try to be productive in that too.
So is it hard to do your homework and go into practice before and after game?
I wouldn't say it's hard. I mean, we have study hall every day for 2 hours, so after practice we do all the homework and try to get it done and get rest.
Okay, being that you were a 4-star recruit coming out of high school and you had such big institutions looking for you, such as Baylor and Clemson, what made you choose U of H?
I just love Coach Herman and Coach Applewhite. I feel like the system is better than most systems, and they're 2 great coaches, and I just want to come play for those guys.
What was it like scoring your first touchdown in high school versus scoring your first touchdown in college?
My first touchdown in high school, I was kind of excited, but nothing beats scoring my first touchdown in college. It was like a surreal feeling, and I just soaked it in and tried to do it again.
What was it like when all the players, you know, attacked you after your first touchdown, being that they're new players to you? How did that feel?
It was great. Those guys were the reason I scored in the first place, so it was a great feeling seeing everybody run up to me after I scored my first touchdown. I'm just grateful for it.
So how does it feel being the first Cougar to score 3 touchdowns in 3 different ways?
I guess it's a big accomplishment. My teammates did that for me. I just finished the job and just try to do what I can to help the team win.
And there you have it. De'Aaron King gives us some insight on the life of being a student athlete. It isn't as easy as it seems, but the King makes it look easy. I'm Latasha Jones, and you're watching Video Workshop.
It's been quite a ride this season on Video Workshop. We hope that you'll tune in next year as we continue to explore our great city and the University of Houston. I'm your host, Belinda Pulido. Before we finish up today, let's rewind to some of the people and places we visited this year. We got some ink at Third Generation Tattoo Shop. The Dean of Houston Film Critics, Joe Layden, stopped by to have a conversation about great movies. We learned the essentials of photography, how you should groom your beard, and how to draw a political cartoon. We visited an inspiring and happy home full of international students, and former Harris County Sheriff Adrian Garcia paid us a visit. Don't forget to tune in next season for more stories like these about our community. But right now, let's join the Video Workshop gang on a visit to the Game Preserve in Spring, Texas. See you next year on Video Workshop.
The Game Preserve is a classic arcade where we preserve all the type of old games from the 80s and 90s and a few from the 60s and 70s that we've gathered over the course of at least 20 years with all 5 owners here. And all the games on free play. We set them to free play because tokens and quarters can get annoying, and we set it to free play because we like to keep our customers happy and we like to keep it simple.
Hi, I'm Jade Ming and welcome to Video Workshop. With so many incidences happening with improvised explosive devices, ever wonder who's handling these calls? Well, I have one of these men for you. Harris County Sheriff Deputy and bomb technician, Patrick Mason. Hi, Patrick.
Hi, thank you for having me.
How long have you been being a bomb technician?
10 years.
Oh, wow. And so I'm pretty sure, as you told many people when they ask you for your profession, when you tell them bomb technician, and how do they react?
They're shocked a little bit. People think Hollywood and they say bomb and they just get really scared.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like what Hollywood displays it to be. There's a lot of training. There's a lot of maintenance, a lot of stuff we have to do to make ourselves proficient at our profession.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's very enjoyable. I like doing what I'm doing. Like I said, I've been doing it for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully I keep doing this for 10 more years.
And what made you decide to even take this field?
I've been on patrol for 10 years in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
A month before the Houston Super Bowl, I was on patrol and I just wanted to make my profession do something different and move up in our agency with the Harris County Sheriff's Office.
Mm-hmm.
And it was posted at our substation. And luckily enough, myself and my partner got picked back in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, we've been going 100 miles an hour.
Oh, wow. And so as far as the calls, the bomb-related calls, how do you get those often? And also, as a citizen, what should we be looking out for?
It varies. We are a reactive type team. If somebody makes that phone call, as you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
we come out and we'll investigate, or interrogate is what they want to call it. We probably can average between 3 calls a month to up to 10 calls a month. It just depends on what we're asked to do.
Mm-hmm.
What we would ask the public to look for is anything suspicious. If you think it's something suspicious, you call 911.
Mm-hmm.
We look for backpacks, briefcases, strange people, something that's out of place. Like everybody has an environment they're used to going to every day.
Mm-hmm.
And if they see something that's out of place in their own environment, then that's suspicious. Go ahead and call us.
Mm-hmm.
Let us do our job we're trained to do, and we will determine if it is suspicious or not suspicious.
Great. And so I remember I went to visit your site, and I do see that y'all do demonstrations in front of people. So what are these demonstrations for, and who are you exactly demonstrating them in front of?
The demonstrations we probably do once a month, and it's all for first responders and anybody that wants to be taught of what to look for. Any fire department, EMS, police officers, cadets, when they go out on a call, You know, like I said, we're reactionary, so we come after the fact. So we're trying to get the first responders to know what to look for. And if they see something, they can identify it. And when we're en route to them, we will have communications with them and they can tell us. And so the demonstrations will show explosions to show what an effect will be with the very little amount of explosive, I'm sorry.
And so when you, as far as these demonstrations go, what about when you're in buildings? I'm sure you're not trying to just hop right in. So how do you exactly know what you're looking at exactly without actually going in?
Well, that would be called our robot. Like I said, we train at least a week out of every month. We train, and we have a robot that we use. It's our workhorse, and the very basic title of our school was "Start Remote, You Stay Remote." So we have a big robot, it's 500 pounds, that we will use to make that entry into wherever we got to go, and has 5 different cameras. We will look through a camera to help us determine what direction we have to go to determine what that package is.
Oh, wow. So obviously that saves you a lot of time, and
Yes.
also safety-wise. Have you ever, by any chance, put yourself in a very risky position? Obviously, you put yourself in a risky position, but like in a more intense situation.
Yes, we have. We start with the robot, and sometimes the robot can't go in certain places. So we do have the bomb suit, like people have seen the bomb suit in a bunch of shows. Our bomb suit is 90 pounds. I'll have to put it on, or my partner have to put it on. And we'll have to go in there and look at it and figure out what it is, and sometimes we have to take it apart. And we've had a couple of close calls, if you want to say, or very stressful situations where we basically had to back up and start over again to make sure we're doing the right thing.
Oh, wow. So so how long does it take about for this robot, by any chance, like to get what you need to know?
Once we get on scene and deploy the robot, you know, within 5 to 10 minutes, we can have the robot downrange, as we call it, to the device to look at.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. We are unfortunately out of time. I'm Jade Ming, and welcome to Video Workshop.
Today's video workshop was directed by David Guerrero and produced by Steve Muiruri. The news director was Francisco Casillas. This program is a laboratory production of the Jack J. Valenti School of Communication in the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences at the University of Houston. All participants are under the faculty supervision of co-executive producers Craig Crow and Randy Polk. Views expressed at Video Workshop are not necessarily those of sponsoring organizations, the University of Houston, or KUHT. This is Andrea Mendoza speaking. Video Workshop is recorded in the studios of KUHT Channel 8, Houston, Texas.